In the world today, we have what we call African Union, European Union, and United Nations. This organization is being formed, or they are being formed to run the affairs of, maybe if it is European Union, they will be running the affairs of the Europeans, that is for the European countries. If it is African Union, they will be taking care of African community, African countries, or the affairs of Africans. If it is United Nations, they will be taking care of maybe the countries that are involved in that United Nations. So all these organizations now are formed to make sure that each of the countries that are involved are being governed in the right states, so that people within will live comfortably in terms of security, economic development, or maybe let the country be in the perfect state so that things will be working for the citizens. Now, if you watch this video, the president of Brazil said something concerning Donald Trump. Not only Donald Trump, he said something concerning Israel. He said something concerning, in fact, all the countries that engage in war. He said something which is very important for you who is watching this video to hear it with your ears. This is a very wonderful message from President LULA of Brazil. What he said in this video is a very heart-touching information. Watch this.
No president from any nation across the globe, no matter how influential or powerful they might be, has the right to be dictating rules to other countries. Absolutely none. And the 5 members of the UN Security Council must meet to change their behavior. We cannot wake up every single morning and go to sleep every single night, you know, with a tweet from a president of the republic threatening the entire world. Engaging in warfare. That is to say, they all make their decisions without consulting the UN, of which they are members and are part of the Security Council. Who did Bush ask for permission to invade Iraq? Nobody. Where are the chemical weapons that were supposed to be in Iraq? There were none. Who did France and England ask for permission to invade Libya? Absolutely no one. What kind of harm was Gaddafi actually causing at that particular time? Absolutely none. And who did Putin ask for permission before invading Ukraine? No one at all. Who did Trump ask for permission to invade Iran? No one. Who did Israel ask for permission to invade the Gaza Strip? As it did, no one. Who asked for Venezuela to be invaded? No one did. What I mean is, these are unilateral decisions that don't respect the very forum where these people participate. And if we don't have a serious discussion about this, absolutely nothing will change. Nothing will change at all. In fact, the situation is only going to get worse. I think this extremism, this lack of respect for the UN Charter, this lack of respect for harmony between countries and nations is very, very dangerous in the world we are living in. Currently, we are witnessing a greater number of armed conflicts. This is the period in human history with the highest volume of armed conflicts across the globe since the end of the Second World War. And the United Nations Security Council does not convene. Its permanent members do not attend. It's always just the ambassador's representative. And when they try to approve something, they possess the right of veto, rendering it ineffective, because any one of them can simply veto it. And for how many years have we been trying to propose changes to the number of countries that participate in the UN? Where is the African representation? On the African continent alone, we have 3 countries with over 120 million inhabitants. Where is the participation from Mexico, from Brazil, from Argentina, from Colombia? Where is India's participation? So many important countries, Germany, Japan, Indonesia, all these countries could participate. And why doesn't it change? When the subprime crisis happened in 2008, we created the G20. For what? To try to resolve the crisis. We tried to change the IMF. We tried to change the World Bank, but nothing changed. So I believe that this democracy, the democracy that we as heads of state must discuss and must demand that the UN Secretary General, convenes extraordinary meetings even without asking the 5 members of the Security Council. The UN cannot remain silent and simply watch what is happening in the world. Trump invades Iran, and then suddenly bean prices rise in Brazil, corn prices go up in Mexico, and gasoline becomes more expensive in another country. In other words, it's the poor who will ultimately pay for the irresponsibility of wars that nobody truly wants. It is democratic behavior that countries exhibit, which we need to discuss with great seriousness. The world is not in need of war, but the world's problem, the problem of multilateralism. It's not an internal problem. It's not an internal problem of Mexico or an internal problem of Spain. It is a problem, of the United Nations. It is about showing respect for the United Nations Charter. It is to ask that all of you, as members of his body, please read the United Nations Charter. Please read the decision by which the Security Council was originally created as a permanent body. Read this, and if they don't feel they are truly fulfilling their sacred duty, then they must resign. Or else we must fundamentally change the UN Charter and do it once and for all. What simply cannot be, what absolutely cannot be tolerated, is the world spending $2.7 trillion on weapons, while so many people are left to starve. What's unacceptable is us talking about decarbonization of planet Earth, while you drop bombs every single day in every single country. What cannot happen is for Lebanon to be the victim of every war Israel wages with someone, the final shot always landing in Lebanon. I mean, where exactly are we going to make these decisions? Where are we going to draw the line? I am truly appalled. I am truly appalled by the silence of people, by not saying anything, as if they're trying to hide from something they don't want to talk about. And we have to talk to each other daily. Brazil, I want to tell you all, Brazil does not want war with the United States. I do not want war with China. I do not want war with Russia. I do not want war with Uruguay. I do not want war with Uruguay. What I mean is I don't want war. I want peace. I want peace. I want my country to develop. I want my people to live well, to be able to study. That's what you all want. I don't want war with Albania, my friend. I don't want war, I hope Evo Morales doesn't want to wage war against me, because I truly don't want any conflict with Bolivia either. But we have to keep repeating this every single day, day after day, because we are constantly being threatened. Every single day we face threats. And there's no international forum available for us to discuss these issues. So, I want to tell all of you, my dear friends and fellow citizens, that I am in this struggle because I know that individually there is no way out for any of us. Individually, there's no way out for any of us. Do you understand? And the other thing that is also very important here in Brazil, we are discussing the work schedule, the end of the 6x1 work schedule. Because it seems to me that technological gains, the commodification of production, only benefit the rich. For the poor, it's worth absolutely nothing. In other words, he doesn't profit because it's the company's overproductivity. All these are issues that we must address, my dear friend, so that we can try to make democracy regain its credibility. Democracy. She is slowly losing her credibility because on many occasions she has not given a response to the aspirations of society. Therefore, dear Francesco, once again, from the bottom of my heart, a sincere thank you for this meeting. We will be prepared to go to Mexico, even more prepared. And who knows, by then we might have resolved a significant part of the peace and tranquility in the world. And we're going to fight, Ramona, for you to go to the G20 in the United States, because the American president doesn't have the right to remove you from the G20 because...
I hope you heard everything he said. What do you have to say? Drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's know what you think. But before I conclude this video, I want to let you know that if all these organizations are working, some presidents that engage in fights or engage in war will never do it, because the organization will draw them back, give them guidelines either to make peace or the next step to take before getting into war. That is the most important reason. That is the benefit of all this nation. But I don't know if the nations are still working. Are they working? That is the question I want to ask. Drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's know what you think. For more news updates like this, you are most welcome to this channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure that you turn on the bell. Anytime I publish the next video, you will get notification. I really appreciate your time for watching my video. See you in the next one. Bye.